and sit down.
Big breaking news for Bitcoin, for one of the biggest news events certainly of this year, up 6.65% on news that PayPal, one of the largest online merchant services worldwide, is going to open up its network and its platform, its wallet, to cryptocurrencies. October 21st, Wednesday, that is today, Wednesday, it will allow customers to hold Bitcoin and other virtual coins in its online wallet and shop using cryptocurrencies at 26 million merchants on its network. I mean, this is unbelievably huge. Amazing news. The new service makes PayPal alone one of the largest U.S. companies to provide consumers access to digital currencies. We are working with central banks and thinking of all forms of digital currencies and how PayPal can play a role. Now, we all know what's coming, the bad news in terms of central banks and using the excuse of the CV scam to pull back on the issuing of physical coins and make a play for digitizing all of our currencies one by one and getting rid of cash, because cash is about freedom. But with all the negativity and negative problems that are going to happen with that, well, once in a while we get something that's actually positive, and this is one of them. And clearly the central banks moving towards this way of having a digital currency on their balance sheet and as part of their services, it has spurred PayPal to realize this is happening and we better get in now. And that's what they're doing. The company has 346 million active accounts around the world and processed 222 billion in payments in the second quarter alone. That's the second quarter of this year, where economies have been hit, more than 50% from the whole CV pandemic. This is pretty amazing news. And so we've got Bitcoin gone up. Let's just do this over a day. 11.9. We're at 12.6 right now is at the filming of this. Let's do 7 days. We basically flattened out at 11.3. And right here, 24 hours, $19 trillion in volume. Sorry, that's billion. And market cap 212, certainly 212 gone up to 235, but that doesn't really matter. I completely expect this to come down a bit from this, but if you wanted to take some profits on a little bit of a bump here, I don't think that's such a bad idea, especially with the election coming up. Continuing with this breaking news, PayPal to let buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Here we are in TechCrunch. So support's going to be for Ethereum, Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin at first. You'll be able to connect your PayPal account to buy and sell cryptocurrencies. Okay. I kind of prefer off-exchange trading myself, but this does have its place. This is excellent news. For digital currencies overall, there's really no way. We're not going back. It's going to be controlled. It's going to be manipulated. And there's going to be a bunch of draconian laws that are going to be tried to manipulate the use and the holding and the transactions. Obviously, that's going to come, but there are good parts about all this, except for the loss of actual good old school physical cash that always sits nice and smells nice underneath your mattress. 26 million merchants that offer PayPal around the world, which we already talked about. Let's see if there's anything else actually, there's some good parts here. You can expect to pay 2.3% for transactions below $100. 2% for transactions between 100 and 200. 1.8 for transactions between 200 and 1,000. And 1.5 bottoming out the transaction fee for those purchases at 1,000 and above. There is a minimum fee of 50 cents for transactions below $25. I think that's definitely understandable. That's not too bad, considering where we're at with the other exchanges right now today. And as it says, as a comparison, Coinbase right now charges 1.49 in conversion fees for any transaction over $200. So they're going to charge a little bit more, but they have the entire network that Coinbase, of course, doesn't have. The network of sellers and buyers across the planet. So that's understandable in terms of actual needs of fees for their services and their infrastructure, as well as where you sit in terms of what you're able to price. That gets into price elasticity for your own services, which we will talk about on another time in some of our lessons to learn in finance and eco. Buying crypto assets with a debit card is much more expensive, as Coinbase charges nearly 4%. Square's Cash App charges variable fees, and Robinhood hides its fees, of course, which is why it's become popular. You don't really know what you're actually getting charged. But hey, that model's been working for them like gangbusters since earlier this year. Well, before that, but it's really blown up. Revolut, which also partners with Paxos in the U.S. to offer cryptocurrency trading, which is going to increase, charges 2.5 to 3% in exchange fees. Fees for free customers. If you're a premium user, you pay 1.5 or less. So anyway, bottom line, breaking news. Super huge. I mean, besides central banks, let's be honest, it's done. The future is digital. Mostly good news about that. I still prefer to have some old school cash, just like actual real gold in your pocket is way different than having gold in a digitized account. Two different separate things, but let's call this a victory for today, and look forward to how we're going to power play this in the future in terms of building out more revenue for ourselves. Good day.